Good morning, friends. I'm too peppy for it to be like 8:45. I normally have my Apple Watch on and I don't, so I'm just pretending to look at a watch. Hi. Welcome. Enjoy. I kind of want to start off the whole YouTube thing with an introduction video. So, welcome. My name is Caitlin. I am 25 years old. I live in New Hampshire. And I really enjoy makeup and YouTube. So I've been watching YouTube since 2014, I think. The day I'm filming this is April 3rd, 2020. So I've been a makeup lover and YouTube watcher for about 6 years. And I've always wanted to do a channel, and you know what? Got all this time with the whole pandemic happening that I've decided no time like the present, might as well start her up. I'm gonna do something pretty simple in regards to my actual base, just like a standard everyday base for me, but what I think I'm gonna do is a winged eyeliner with blue shimmery eyeshadow on top. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And if not, we'll just do a wing and like a standard wing look and just keep it casual. I'm not going anywhere other than to pick up my daughter at the end of the day, so that's kind of where I'm at. So we'll do some makeup, we'll do some chatting, we'll get to know me a little bit. My story, what happened in my life to get me to this point. We're starting with the Smashbox Primerizer. I have a little sample size. One thing that's super important to know about me and my skin. Well, first of all, let's start off with how rough I look today. I fell asleep very early last night, fully clothed and with all my makeup on still. So my boyfriend, Sean, who you'll hear a lot about in this whole YouTube experience. We passed out just like cuddling, and I know that's wicked lame and I'm sorry, but at like 8:30, and we woke up at 6, and I was like, oh, my makeup is still fully on and my jeans are still on and my bra is still on, which is a terrible way to wake up in the morning. So I took my makeup off, and this is the result. It's not great. Now I'm taking the NYX Angel Veil Primer and just kind of trying to fill in some of these fine lines. We're just trying to fill some pores, make ourselves look a little seamless here. One thing to know about my skin, other than the fact that I look like garbage from sleeping in makeup all night, which you should never do, and I did a bad thing and don't do what I do. Normally I'm so good about it, like I could even be like drinking and I will take my makeup off every night and lotion my face. And the reason I'm so adamant about that is because I have eczema on my face. So I know if you're a YouTube lover, which I feel like most of the people in the world are, you know that you will get plenty of people who sit there and are like, I have dry skin, I have dry skin. Well, guess what? You don't have dry enough skin if you don't have eczema all over your face. That's what I say. Currently I am mixing the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. Oh, we can be fancy like a real YouTuber. Ooh. And the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. I have found that the Pro Glow foundation, and I'm mixing it on the back of my hand, the Pro Glow foundation is one of the only foundations that I've ever tried that does not sink aggressively into the lines on my forehead. Like aggressively. It is the only one, and that's why I love it. Today, we're probably gonna want a little bit more full coverage than we have. Which kind of sucks, but whatever. We're doing what we can. That's Tucker barking at someone probably walking down the street. Let's hope he calms down. So, dotting it all over my face. Ignore the dog. I waited, okay? And then I'm taking what's left on my hand, and I'm taking my sponge, and I am going to pat it into some of that and then blend out what's on my face. So I have eczema all over my face. And if you don't really know what eczema is, I want you to understand that it's the worst. I feel like that's so dramatic. What a first world problem. Like, my makeup doesn't go on good because I have dry skin. Pee. Like, shut up. Anyways, eczema is large, flaky, red, burning, itching dry patches all over your face or wherever you get it. Most people if they have eczema on their face, will grow out of it. Oh, I have the ring light on this entire time. Please excuse me. Oh, way better. Look at that. See, we're still trying to figure this nonsense out. And you know what? You're gonna have to bear with me through all the chaos. Normally, I remember to turn that on. This time, we didn't. Anyways, so it's pretty awful to have eczema, if we're being honest. It makes makeup going on pretty difficult, but what I think is beneficial about me suffering through that, most people, this is where I was going with this, most people who have eczema on their face grow out of it when they become adults. Some of us unfortunate souls do not. Me, I'm one of those unfortunate souls. So I did not grow out of my eczema. Still have it on my face. I have good days, I have bad days. Some breakouts are worse than others. Also, look at how like dark my under eyes are. I showered and I cleansed twice and I still couldn't get all the makeup off my face. The like black eyeliner that was stuck to me after sleeping on it for 10 straight hours. Because I know that there's obviously other people in the world who have eczema on their skin. Like, I'm not an idiot. Obviously other people in the world have eczema on their face. I also get it on my arms a lot, but not the point. And so when it comes to putting makeup on with eczema, it is way different than just like a dry skin patch or just like putting makeup on in general. Like when you have an eczema patch and you put makeup on top of it, it just flakes. Like right here is a large eczema patch. So you put foundation on it and it puts foundation over all the flakes. And then eventually it'll flake off and it's terrible. But I think that makes it interesting when it comes to testing out makeup. One, what makeup will cause eczema flare-ups, because there's a lot of things in makeup products that we can get into at a later date that can cause eczema to flare up on your skin. And if you have it on your face, that can be a bad thing when it comes to doing makeup. There's also a lot of things that can look better or worse given eczema flakes. Eczema patches and flakes. Flatches is what I came up with. So yeah, that's kind of something that I think is different about me when it comes to the whole makeup application. Currently I am using the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector in light to medium to make these dark spots go right away. Samantha Ravindall on YouTube doesn't know who I am, but I've subscribed to her for a long time. She uses this and it is one of the sole reasons I bought it was because she uses it. Speaking of Samantha Ravindall and makeup YouTubers, let's talk about how I got here. So, like I said, I've loved makeup since I was in college. 2014, I was going into my sophomore year of college and I really got into lipstick. I remember I wore like an e.l.f. chubby crayon, like red, bright red chubby crayon once. I remember someone telling me how much they thought that I looked great in lipstick and that I should wear more lipsticks. And I was like, all right, I'll look into it. Somehow I ended up on YouTube and I stumbled across a Kathleen Lights Colourpop Lippie Stick review try-on favorite shade video. And that was the wormhole I needed to get into makeup YouTube and never look back. So I started off with that video. I ordered a bunch of Colourpop Lippie Sticks that she recommended based off that video, and then I went into her BoxyCharm videos, and then I just started subscribing to a bunch of other people. I subscribed to Alana Davidson. I subscribed to Jamie Page. I subscribed to Samantha Ravindall. I subscribed to Danny over at Coffee Break with Danny. I subscribed to Raw Beauty Christie, and that was a more recent one. Jaclyn Hill, obviously. Tati. Oh my God. Desi Perkins. Something about that woman is something that I just can't get past. That woman is perfection. I remember when I found her videos, it was like a summer, pretty sure it was the summer I was pregnant, which we can also get into, but I found her videos and I was so obsessed with her that I went through every single video on her channel. I started at the top and I just went down the list. I watched every one in order for probably about 3 years worth of her videos. Like, not even joking. I could not get enough of Desi Perkins. And you know what? If we're being honest, I still can't get enough of Desi Perkins. Every time she uploads a video, it's like an instant love for me. I'm weird about subscriptions. Not the point. That's why I understand if people don't subscribe to me. Like, I'm real picky about who ends up in my subscription feed. And I don't know why. Like, I will watch people's videos for months and never subscribe to them and then be like, all right, fine, I guess they make the cut. Like, you're watching every single video they post anyways, just fucking subscribe to them. While I blend out my concealer. So, sorry, what I used was the Maybelline Fit Me in shade 10. It's my favorite. It's what I use every day. I put it under my eyes first and around my nose, and then I go up to the forehead and onto my chin. So I start by blending out the chin, and then I'll blend the nose and forehead, and then I go to the eyes. That way they have a longer time to sit and let the pigment kind of hang out and dry a little bit, so it'll cover more. But that's what I do. So that's what I'm gonna start doing right now while I'm talking, and it's gonna get a little mishmashy because I just don't know how to talk and not sound like I am, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I actually tried to record this video before, just like test it out, and it wasn't in focus because I hadn't turned the autofocus on my camera. This is why you test things out. One, to turn ring lights on, turn your mic on, and to test the autofocus. So I test the autofocus, and now it's on, and we're working. It's amazing. I love it. My camera also only records for 20 minutes at a time, which we learned, so I just need to like keep an eye on the number at the top of the little viewfinder up here that tells me how long it's been going. Like right now I have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. But, so, my story. So I got into makeup when I was in college, and I have a cousin who also loves makeup because of YouTube. So we both got really into Kathleen Lights and BoxyCharm. We both subscribed to BoxyCharm. We both did that whole shindig, and we had a great time with it. So we started getting into YouTube. We started watching a lot of makeup videos. It was great, but I was in college. So yeah, we discussed trying to do, you know, like a YouTube channel, or at one point we talked about a blog. We talked about all these things of what we wanted to do. But one, it's hard to do things with someone else because then you have to rely on, you know, like schedules lining up, and her and I we live in completely different towns. In New Hampshire still, but completely different places, like far enough away where it's not realistic to have to like meet up to do these things together. All right, quick side note. I have 3 nose piercings. So I have a septum right here, just my little retainer because my jewelry hasn't come in yet. I have a little stud, and I also have a hoop. So when it comes to blending my nose on this side, I need to pull my nose to the side so I can get around all the piercings in order to blend onto my nostril and around the piercings in general. So if you're watching me like do weird things with my nose, and then just know that that's how it's gonna be. And I'm introducing it now, so every time I do it later, you don't have to question it, because it's gonna happen every time I do my makeup. So that's my little aside. So her and I were really into makeup. We did that together. It got to the point where like I was watching YouTube every second of my day, and it still to this day is my stress reliever. I will watch videos end upon end. I will watch them while I do my makeup in the morning when I get ready for work. I will watch them at night if I'm bored and I just want something to watch. When I lived alone, which I no longer do, we'll also get into that, I would watch them at night to kind of like fall asleep to, so I'd watch them until I got tired enough to shut my phone off, which I know they say not to do, but it works. So I'm not gonna like, you know, fix what ain't broke. You know what I'm saying? It's like, again, I'm not supposed to look at my phone screen, but here I am watching YouTube and falling asleep to it, so it's not a big deal, okay? So that's kind of what I got into, and I just kept doing it, and it was really fun. And I had always wanted to do a YouTube channel, but I just never had the time. A quick recap of like my life story since YouTube. I was a full-time college student. Then I got into a really bad abusive relationship, which I then, as a result, became pregnant in that abusive relationship while still in college. made the decision to leave my abusive boyfriend and be a single parent. Leave school full-time, move back in at home with my parents, my mom and her boyfriend, now fiance, have my daughter, finish my senior year with a newborn, my senior year of college, graduate on time, get a job. A year later, move out into my own apartment with my daughter. A year after that, move into a new apartment. Met an amazing guy through work who I am now dating. His name is Sean, that I mentioned before. And then once the pandemic kind of happened, which is what's happening right now as of April 3rd, 2020, like I mentioned before, we made the decision to move in together because we had been talking about it anyways, but it kind of made sense right now. It like gave us the jump start we needed to really commit to moving in with each other and making that decision, simply because financially it made the most sense. I got laid off shortly after we made that decision, and my daughter and I moved in here. She has her own room. I have this beautiful office space that I kind of transformed, which I also recorded, so like vlog style, so I'll probably upload that once it's completely done. I still have some things to do in here. It's not fully done yet, but it's done enough that I can record a video. And yeah, so that's kind of how I started doing this, is that now all of a sudden I have time. And I had a lot of people in my life who've always said that I should just do the YouTube thing. And I'm just wiping the extra foundation off my lips because I hate that more than anything, is when people don't do that. I hate seeing foundation on people's lips, and I know it's going to still happen, but I'm actually going to do a cream bronzer. I just got this, again, with the trial size. So it's a Milk Makeup bronzer stick in the shade Baked that everyone uses. There's the color for you. It's really cute. And I started doing cream bronzer and I'm kind of in love with it. So I'll just show you a little bit. So I take the bronzer, and so the hollow of my cheek, and if you watch YouTube, this is gonna be the most redundant thing because I'm not a professional. I don't know how to do this. The only way I know how to do this or any of this is from YouTube. But so on my little hollow, you can see it right here. So I follow that line. So I take my cream bronzer and I follow my little hollow line, tuck the hair behind the ears. And I just draw a line, okay? There's our cream bronzer, and then I hold my hair so I don't get it all over my hair. We kind of draw it up the face, like that. And I'm gonna set my face once, like you can see how everything is sinking into my lines. I'm gonna set my face with my translucent powder once I'm done with this. I don't typically set in the areas that I put this anyways, so if I did set first, it wouldn't be a big deal, but just for the sake of doing it here. So I'm just gonna do that and blend it out to show you before I do the other side, which I won't explain the other side once I do this. So I take my sponge, which is dirty, and you also shouldn't judge me for that because I'm human. And normal humans don't wash their sponges and brushes every day. Just, once again, just let me be me. Don't judge me. And that's about it. Just let me live my life. So I'm gonna take the flat side and we're going to blend it. So we just kind of stamp. The thing that I try to do is to blend up. So I'm not going any lower than this line because I don't want it to get really mucky. And if it does, I'll fix it with powder, but I try not to. So I blend it up, just tapping, and it blends itself right in. It's literally the most amazing product in the world. So now that I've kind of blended most of it, I'm just gonna take my sponge and blend it even more, like onto the cheek, get the line to go away because you don't want like a huge line. Okay, so now we're slightly bronzed on this side and we're not on that side. So it's nice. And now the same thing. This one, I do purposely bring it into my hair a little bit because otherwise you'll get this weird, see how I have like a big white line around my face? I'm gonna take my sponge and I'm gonna blend it into my hairline so that you get the bronzer in there and you're not getting like a line of foundation by your hair and then a line of bronzer because that just doesn't look natural. Obviously it's makeup, but it just doesn't look as natural as it could. So again, we're blending down and into the hairline. So see, here we go, quite nice. And then we go up here, do the same thing. I'm gonna turn so I can see it better for myself and for you. There we go. Blender out. Just look at how easy that blends. Like, I want to preface this by saying that I started using cream bronzer when I bought this about like not even a week ago, and I've maybe used it 3 times, and this is how easy I can blend it out. Like, I'm not a pro with cream bronzer. I don't want that to be like a thing that everyone's like, it's so much harder. Because I was terrified of it too, because I was scared I couldn't do it. Guess what? If I can do it, you can do it. Because I don't know what I'm doing either. We're all just doing experiments here. This is just an experiment on my face. And that's what we're doing. Experimenting. And so what was I talking about? My life. I don't know where I left off, but essentially I'm just going to say I got laid off. So I'm home more due to COVID-19. I moved in here with my boyfriend. It's great. And now my excuse before was that I had no time. Well, when you're unemployed and you're home all the time, what's your excuse now? You know? So I'm kind of taking this as my time and my lesson to just like start doing the things that I wanted to do, because, you know, I was a single parent, so I really didn't have time. Before that, I was full-time in college, so I really didn't have time. And now my hair is just stuck to my face. You know, I live with my boyfriend or with another partner for the first time in my life, and I have help with my child, and like that alone is something that I never had before. And then I also have, you know, time during the day because I still bring her to daycare since daycare's open, to allow me to do other things that I want to do and to just be productive, you know? Like, we moved in here right when I got laid off, so I didn't have time to unpack. So since, you know, the whole pandemic and me being unemployed, I've been unpacking, I've been organizing, I've been going through things and cleaning things that probably haven't been cleaned in so long. So I'm going to take the back of the Beauty Blender, so this is the part that I use for foundation and for the cream bronzer, and I'm going to take this part and I'm going to blend out my horrendous sunken in forehead lines. So yeah, so my daughter and I live here now. I'm doing the whole YouTube thing, doing the whole unemployed thing, and we're just making the best of a bad situation. Prior to being unemployed, I was what is this hair? It's attached to my head. I was a full-time interior designer. So I went to college, and I have a bachelor's of science in interior design. And that's what I did. I'm gonna use the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 10 Fair Light. I don't like I've never used the translucent one, but I do like that this has a little bit of color. And I am stamping it. Stamp, stamp, stamp on my forehead. Because my forehead is the absolute worst place to crease. That and my under eyes, but your under eyes are gonna crease no matter what, because we're all human, and unless you get Botox and fill all that nonsense in, things aren't gonna really be doing things. And you know what? I am out with my face. So I'm gonna get creases up here too. And that's fine, but if I can prevent foundation from sinking into there, I will. And then I'm gonna take this side, which is also dirty from concealer, and blend out my under eyes. So that way they're not wicked messed up. And then I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna use this side again that I kind of stamped out the foundation with. I'm gonna blend out my under eyes again to get all of the creasing gone, so I don't set creases into my creasy creases under my eyeballs. Looking up so that way I'm stretching the skin out and then keeping it stretched. Ooh. Please hold. Oh, hello.
Yo, what's up?
Currently I'm trying to record a YouTube video.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay, you're just gonna be in it. Hope you enjoy.
Alright.
What's happening, love?
I want to see if you can troubleshoot the internet, but I'll get back to your video.
Do you want me to call you back or text you when I'm done?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, have fun. Love you, bye.
Great, love you more, bye! That's Sean. He's a cutie. And I'm gonna keep all that in the video so that you guys can all enjoy him. So we're just gonna do the other side. So, making the best of a bad situation is essentially what we're doing. No, we were talking about my job. So I'm a full-time interior designer. I design hotels for a company in New Hampshire, where I live. And so right out of college, I started working here. Sorry, I didn't even tell you about how I was setting my under eyes. I'm not baking, I'm just pushing the powder in with the damp sponge so that way it like really gets in there, because baking is too much for dry skin. But if you use a damp sponge and powder, loose powder in particular, you can also use like a compact, but I don't find that it works as well. It really sinks it in there. And then I'm also gonna take a little bit and set my chin and my nose. And then I'm gonna set these awful smile lines. How am I looking? Right? It's great. Ignore the wind. I bet you can hear all that. It's like raining, it's windy, whatever. Today I am the most thankful because there's no sunshine for this ring light, which I forgot to turn on at the beginning, but also for these beautiful recessed lights that Sean installed for me in the office, which is my absolute favorite thing. God, they're wonderful. Just patting out my forehead because I hate it. And like I said, someday I'm gonna get Botox. And then I'm gonna get this foundation off my lips again because somehow we got more. I'm currently using the Butter Bronzer in the shade Bronzer on a random brush that my sister got me in a set from Zulily like a long time ago. Doesn't have a name, I don't know, but I love it and it's amazing because it's dense and it lets me really get the bronzer on there. As you can see here, we're a bronzer fan around here, okay? I like to pretend like I'm tan since I am the palest girl in the entire world. Like see-through. It's lovely. Other than interior design, what I do think would be fun to explore now that I'm home, and Sean owns a house, so it's a 4-bedroom house with 2 baths. We actually just redid the bathroom upstairs and it's so nice. And if I can find before photos, maybe I'll do some sort of like bathroom tour, like renovated bathroom tour, because it is beautiful. And we bought everything at like Home Depot and stuff, so like you guys could all find it if you wanted to ever use any of the same things. I'm pinching my bronzer brush and just like running it down my nose to kind of like chisel my nose a little bit. You can see the difference. That's aggressive. This is why we do these things. So I pinch it again with my little fingers to make it skinnier, because if it's big, it'll just like bronze up the whole nose. And I run it down the other side. And I do get it all the way up into the brow because it just kind of makes it more like consistent and even. And then I'll do this. And then I kind of pat off. I take this and I just like pat off the extra on a washcloth that I have sitting here. And I just kind of blend it out and try not to touch the bridge of my nose because that's light on purpose. So we try to blend it because it looks really aggressive on camera and it doesn't look that not aggressive in person. So I wouldn't mind doing like home projects and giving you little vlogs about them, like this office, which is so stinking cute. Just for the sake of it, I'm gonna try to blend this out. Just because on camera it looks a little aggressive, in person it's what I would typically do, so it's not a big deal, but on camera it just looks a little crazy. There we go. Sorry, I'm gonna take, see how my ball's kind of sticking out on my nose hoop? I'm just gonna spin it back in and kind of adjust all the nose rings after attacking my face with the sponge. Then we're gonna take the Milani Luminoso blush because anyone who's anyone on a YouTube channel loves this blush and I'm still obsessed with it this many years later. Nobody else really is, and I know people talk about it sometimes as like an old favorite that's still good. But it's one of the few, I don't own that many blushes just because I like just recently started actually wearing blush. But it's beautiful because, ready, I'm gonna give you this little sneak peek. I blend it all over. I kind of like to pull it back more to like chisel my face rather than like on the apples. So I kind of use it more of like the same way that I put a bronzer on. So there's my blush. But look at how the shine, look at that. Like over here, a little bit of glow, not that much. Proof's in the pudding, isn't it? So yeah, I wouldn't hate to do like home DIYs or renovation projects on here, just like as for fun. I'm actually gonna take my bronzer brush and just because the center of my face is really light, which is nice, but I'm just kind of gonna like blend onto the cheeks just a little bit. just a little bit. No extra product, just whatever's already on here. This brush is also constantly dirty because I only have, this is gonna sound ridiculous, I only have this many brushes. Who do I think I am? I only have the one bronzer brush, this one. So I don't wash it every day because that would be too much. We're all human here, okay? I'm not judging you for having dirty makeup brushes or a dirty sponge. Don't judge me. Thank you. Let's get into the eyes. So essentially the way that I typically do like just a standard wing look, which if we're adding blue eyeshadow on today, I'm not gonna do it this way, but typically I do my wing with my black eyeliner, and then I take like a contour shade and I just kind of put it in the crease. And then if I need to, I'll go back over with my black eyeliner. So I typically do the eyeshadow after. But today, if we're trying to add blue, that could make a huge mess. So I have the Morphe X James Charles palette here. Let's look at the beauty. I got this because one person who I didn't mention, who I am very obsessed with on YouTube, is Glam McGoy. Or Mikey. And my God, do I think special effects makeup is so cool. Same with Raw Beauty Christie. She does a great job with this too. And Desi. They do amazing special effects looks and it's so cool. So I ended up buying, I had a gift card for my birthday. My birthday was in February. I ended up buying the Makeup Forever Flash palette with my gift card. So I have the cream paints, but you need colors to set that with. And so I wanted to get one palette that wasn't super expensive that I could kind of do that with. And that's this guy. So look at that, it's crazy. Anyways, I've only dipped into some of the colorful shades in here and I have not used the neutrals. So that's what we're gonna do today. So to start, I'm not gonna do a primer. I have one, but I'm not gonna do it because I don't really need this to last all day because I'm not going anywhere because I'm unemployed and I don't do anything. So I'm gonna take this Morphe brush. It is an E22. Now that I live with a dog and a cat, I find dog and cat hair on everything that I never used to find. And that's not true. I always lived with dogs and cats when I lived at home, but when I lived on my own, apartments you typically can't have them. I find dog and cat hair everywhere, and guess what? That dog is the most perfect animal in the entire world, and I don't care. Anyways, so we're gonna dip in. I don't know any of the shade names, and I'm sorry, so I'm just gonna point. I'm gonna dip into this shade to start. Oh my God, and now I have a me hair. Guys, I need help. Okay, take my little brush, we're gonna dip into here to start. Tap off all the excess, here we go. Very important, otherwise you're gonna get fallout, especially doing your face first. We're gonna keep it super simple above because if we add blue to the, you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna take my mirror and you're gonna be able to see it a little bit because I need to be able to see myself. So I take my brush and I kind of stick it in the crease. So I look up kind of like this. It's gonna stick it right on in here. Windshield wiper motions around, do all that. And then once I think I have the product on, I take my brush and I do circular motions to really blend it out. One thing that I have all over my face, but mainly also on my eyebrows, my eyelids, is I have freckles. I have freckles everywhere and I love them. Just getting a little bit more of the shade. Just to deepen it a slight bit. My freckles are some of my favorite things on my face, and I think it's just the cutest little noodly thing in the entire world, and I love it. So on my eyelids, I also have freckles. So if you can see, I have a few, like that's a freckle. On this one, I have some on my actual eyelid. There's like 3 right there. And I think I also have a few over here too, but typically you can actually see that through my eyeshadow because it doesn't completely cover it up because I don't put like a primer. I put like whatever leftover concealer that's up here, I kind of blend it up there, but I don't go nuts. So I don't typically have that kind of like full coverage look on my eyelids, which I don't care. I don't need it, so I just don't do it. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Typically you can see my freckles through my eyeshadow, which I don't care, but just as like a heads up, if If you see like a bunch of little dots all over the place on my eyelids, just know that it's probably just my little freckles, and they're cute and I love them, and I don't care if they're covered or not because I think they're adorable. As for other things that I would like to do on this channel, obviously makeup. That's a no-brainer. I'm not gonna go nuts on my eye. I'm just gonna do this and then do a little bit darker and then like lighten up the lid and then do the eyeliner. So I'm gonna take, I just shoved my finger in it, this shade. I'm a clumsy girl, all right? You're gonna see that a lot. So the shade right here, it's all the way over on the palette, the darkest on the top row. I'm gonna dip my brush into that, tap it off again, get all the extra out, and I'm not supposed to blow on it, but guess what? Let a girl live, right? We've said this a lot this video. You're gonna see that I live that way, okay? That's just who I am as a person. So, I'd like to do maybe just like chit chat, like little story times, or just like if I don't feel like recording makeup that day, or, you know, just something along those lines. Just kind of like a relaxing chit-chatty video. Other than that, it'll probably be makeup because that's what I like. I'm not gonna like hold myself to that in the event that I ever want to do something else, but like probably just like home and makeup. This is a Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH30 brush. There's stuff on it. It's like a huge fluffy brush and it has nothing on it. I'm just gonna take it and like go nuts on the blending to kind of like correct and properly blend everything. It's a little darker than I wanted, but I think I'll also go back over it with the original shade and it'll blend it better as well, but also we'll tone it down. One thing that I am very adamant about on here is, although I love to share my daughter on my social media with people I know, I have made and taken extreme precautions to protect her from my abusive boyfriend in the past. So the thing that I will have a very strong stance on is not showing her on this channel, despite how much I would love to, and to show off my cutie pie. I need to protect her and keep her safe, and in that event, I cannot show her on YouTube. Obviously, that kind of sucks because it's a huge part of my life, and she'd be hilarious content. She's 3.5, and she is just the cutest thing in the entire world, and has immense amounts of sass that she got from me, and I can only blame myself. But I just don't want to put her or myself in a position to be not safe. And for him to have access to any information about her, her whereabouts, what she looks like, any of that. It just, for both of our protection, that's not something I'm going to be doing. So she, as of right now, maybe I'll change my mind someday, but I don't know, is not going to be on this channel. Be back. So I'm taking this light shade over in the corner, putting my finger in it, just using my finger, and I'm going to pat it onto my lid to kind of like bring back the light. One thing that I am more than okay with talking about though on my channel is my story about my abusive relationship, and also mental health. I'm going to darken up and then add the light color to this eye as well. I had not really shared a lot about my, reasoning behind why my abusive boyfriend and I broke up. I didn't even share that I was pregnant on social media until I was 8. So technically pregnancy is 40 weeks, so it's 10 months. I was 8 months before I even shared on any social media that I was pregnant. And that was only on Facebook. And I didn't even put it on Instagram until the week of my due date. Just blending that original color on it again to kind of blend everything back out. But I'm definitely okay with being open about my domestic violence story. I've started to share it on, Domestic Violence Awareness Month is in October every year. And on my social media, I've started to really share my story a little bit more on there, just to give like a better idea of what's going on. Mainly because I want to help people. And I think that's something that I haven't really explored in my life, is the want and desire to help anyone else. I'm going to start doing my eyeliner, which is going to be a lot. NYX Epic Ink. The problem I have with it, and everyone loves this, but it bleeds a lot for me. So I take it every time I use it. And I take you can see all of the nasty black marks on this makeup towel that I use. It's pretty gross. Keep it on my lap. So I take it and I pat off all the extra. That way when I go under my eye, it's not so much that it bleeds everywhere. See how crazy that is? I patted off this twice and I still have a plethora. Like, it feels so wet on my eyes still. All right, started her off. Now I gotta do the wing part, which means we gotta pat off more. So I try to, what are we gonna do today? A big wing? Might as well, it's for fun, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pat off some more again, because wow, there's a lot coming off. It is ready to bleed. So I take it from the corner of my eye and I go up towards my brow. So I drew a line. Here's one tip also. If you're afraid of the wing, it knows. It can sense your fear and it will capitalize on it and it will ruin your life. So you can't be afraid of the liquid liner, okay? Thing is, I need both hands for this, so I might not be in the frame, and you know what? I'm doing my best here, okay? Just don't judge me. I'm trying, and I'm not afraid of this. Let to be known, I'm not afraid of the liner. I am challenging the liner. Like, I'm better than you are. You're not gonna be the one that defeats me today. I will defeat you, and I know you have a hair on you, and I don't want that on my eye. So, now that he knows his place, and he knows that I am the leader here, I am the king, the queen, we can keep going. Man, we got aggressive today. So, I take the line from the point, I draw all the way across my eyelid, and then I fill it in. And I pat off all the extra because I can feel it getting really wet. We are a thick wing today. Wow, look at how aggressive we are. It's gonna be so fun when it's blue, but I really messed up the end and it's not. And it's not what I want. Because it's not pointy. Can we talk about this? It was too wet and I opened my eyes and now I have eyeliner on my eyelid. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna have to fix it. I was gonna say I wasn't gonna fix it, but I'm gonna have to. All right, guys, here's the thing. It's the best we're gonna get today. And it's really aggressive, and I knew I wanted a big wing, but like, that's really big. So I don't know how to really like correct my mistakes here. It's like one of those classic memes where you draw too much and then you just keep making it bigger and it just gets worse. But I think if it's blue, it'll be fine. Like, this was purposeful, right? I know this is long, but it was on purpose. Now I just have to make it match somehow on the other side. We're back and we have two wings on. And you know what? I also went pee in the break and I noticed that they actually don't look that bad in person. Like, I can't, there's like a big square that like follows my face around on the viewfinder. So I can't really see what's happening on my face, but it doesn't look that bad. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this cutie pie. This is a Morphe M432. It's like your classic, let's zoom in. When I say classic, I mean a YouTube classic, like a flat shader brush or a flat liner brush, I guess we can say. And we're gonna dip into this really cool blue color right here. It's like a blue-green teal combo. And we're gonna turn this black liner into a blue one. So we're coating the brush. I'm gonna take our all-nighter setting spray, because if you wet it, it's gonna be so much stronger. That's one little tidbit. And if you're watching this and you know makeup and I'm saying all the same things you've heard for years, just know that I know that. But let me live my life once again. I'm gonna spray it, get it nice and wet, and then we pat on top. So I'm just gonna dip back in, get some more. The brush is still wet, so I don't really have to like wet it again. See it starting to form, you get the little blue action. But one thing that I was saying before is that I've always wanted to help people, and you know, at the end of the day, my domestic violence story isn't the most extreme that you'll ever hear, you know? And it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It doesn't mean that I wasn't abused. It doesn't mean that I wasn't going through domestic violence in my home. I was physically abused and emotionally abused. But both of those are domestic violence. It's not just physical. It's not just emotional. If you're being emotionally manipulated and abused, you still are going through domestic violence. And at the end of the day, I want to tell my story because I know that some people will go through similar things in life. And I don't want people to feel alone. I don't want people to feel like what they're going through doesn't count. It doesn't matter. That just because they didn't end up hospitalized with a violent injury from someone beating them to near death doesn't mean that you weren't abused. And just I feel like sometimes it's nice to hear someone else say it, or to have someone else who's gone through it tell you that it's okay, before you can feel confident enough to tell yourself that. And so that's something that I really, really want to be able to use the internet. And I mean, makeup's fun, yeah. But I'd also like to get some points across that I'm not able to really do in my everyday life. And at the end of the day, I went through a lot, and it's caused me a lot of, you know, mental health issues since. I don't want to have like this huge stigma and like shame around the fact that I have problems now. So let's talk about it. Let's make it known. Let's make you feel normal. Just because I feel normal, everyone should feel normal. And to normalize the fact that like you're allowed to feel pain after being hurt. You know, like those things are important. Just because I went through bad stuff doesn't mean I can't turn it into a really positive thing. And at the end of the day, it is a really positive thing. Everything happens for a reason, and I don't want people to think that just because bad things happen to you means that your life's over, because it's not. It's actually just starting. And I can say that from experience, and I want to give that to other people. I'm going to finish this little doodad. I'm going to put on some mascara. My camera's going to stop recording again, so I need to delete some more things on my memory card, or at least go get the other one. It's right here. I could just do that. But I'm going to do that, and then we'll be back. We're going to do this quick. Lower lash line, we're going to take the same color that we put on the top. We're just going to blend it out down here. Try not to hit the blue at all, or else it will also blend blue everywhere, which we don't want. Sorry, I'm so bad at this. Just bear with me as I get used to this whole YouTube thing, because like, I don't know what I'm doing. And despite how many years I spent talking into a mirror, pretending like I was recording a YouTube video, it doesn't get any easier. So we're working on it. All right. It's just different, you know, like I keep staring at the viewfinder. I know people are gonna be nuts about that when I should be staring right into the lens like this, talking to you like normal. So I blended that color on the lower lash line. I'm gonna take the smallest amount of that darker color because it's a lot darker than I really want to go down here. I'm going to take my little brush, the same Colourpop one, pinch it, and then we're going to line the lower lash line with it, ever so slightly, just on the outer corner. Okay, take a little bit again, pinch it again, and just line on the lower lash line. Okay, so now there's just a little bit of dark on the outer corners of each. We're going to take the original brush and we're just going to blend it out. I'm going to curl my lashes, lash curler. Then we're going to put mascara on one eye. I'm going to show you a comparison. We're going to quickly throw on a super easy, simple lip because we got some blue on the upper lash line and we don't need to go nuts with the color on our lips. And I'm wearing like a wicked, like burnt orangey rust fall leaf sweater. So like, what am I gonna do? Go nuts with like a bright orange? Like, no, not today. Someday, but not today. So we're just gonna put, this is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, best mascara in the entire universe from the drugstore. And I'm gonna show you the difference between my two eyes. So, here I go. Here we go. So here's what happens to my eyelashes. They're very long. So it looks like I'm wearing falsies, and I'm not. It also looks like I have eyelash extensions. I don't. It's just my natural lashes, and I know I'm blessed to be stressed. So this is one eye with and one eye without. I'm just gonna put a mascara on the other eye, and then we'll do a very quick lip. All right, so I may or may not have accidentally blinked on my mascara and gotten a ton under here because I'm crazy and I'm a mess. I also forgot that I haven't done my eyebrows. The thing is, I don't do a lot on my eyebrows because as you can see, this is unfilled in and they're super full. So this is a Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer in soft brown. And this is what I do on an everyday basis. So I just take it and I just brush it through. So it has some fibers and a little bit of color. My eyebrow hairs are very long, very full, and a little crazy. So all I really want this to do is just kind of like lock them down. It's also pretty dry and like not doing a lot, as you can tell. So like there's one done, one not. I just dipped it back in and I'm gonna do it again on this side. This brow is a little lower on my face, just in general. So I do brush the hairs up more on this side to kind of try to get the illusion that they're at the same height. And if you're gonna now notice that my eyebrows are two different heights, don't tell me. Because I don't wanna know. I know, okay? And I hate it, so don't tell me. So we're just gonna brush up to pretend like they're roughly the same height as the other one. And that's my other eyebrow. So that's all I do. I try to avoid it because to be honest, I don't really care about my eyebrows. Half the time I don't even remember to pluck them. So you're lucky that they're pretty clean right now because otherwise they'd look like garbage. So we're going to take a little lip liner. Today we're gonna take the Purely Nude lip liner from Maybelline. It's gonna line the lips. So I go a little under on the bottom lip and then I kind of like fill in a little on the sides. I don't know, you'll see. Give me 1 second. You can't really talk when you're lining your lips, so just enjoy the silence. I know it's awkward, maybe you'll hear the wind, I don't know, but here we go. Oh, this is so bright. So as I'm doing this, and by as I mean I just put it on, it's a little too bright, so I'm gonna grab a different one. I have a lot of stuff back here. Here's a cup full of lip liners. I'm gonna take, not that one, where's the one I want, Skimpy? Skimpy. This is Skimpy from Colourpop. I'm blending that other one in a little bit because it's really bright. So the problem with Colourpop lip liners is that they break and dry out. So this is what happens. It like falls around and does its own thing. So we're just gonna kind of like force it to love me, which is really hard. And no, I normally don't turn my head in all weird directions, but the lip liner's broken, so I have to, okay? Just don't judge. So like I said, I lined it, and I also filled in the corners a little bit to make it a little deeper in the corners, kind of like to contour. Now I'm taking Colourpop Luxe Lipstick in Appy, A-P-P-Y. And also look at this gorgeous little bullet. Please focus. Yes, look at all the stars on there, it's so cute. It's gonna put this kind of in the center and then tap it out to the outsides and blend in with the lip liner. And then if I have to, I'll go back in the lip liner and like touch up the outsides again, okay? The dryness on my lips is unreal. So we rub together. Wow, my lips are so chapped. I'm so sorry that you have to witness this. So my camera died. And instead of waiting for it to load, who do I think I am? Instead of waiting for it to charge, because right now it's on the charger, I am going to just finish this up with you on my iPhone. So we blended it with our finger. It looks pretty cute, but because my lips are so chapped, I'm going to take this L'Oreal lipstick. It looks beat up because it lives in my purse. L'Oreal Color Shine in 900 Glossy Fawn, which if you watch YouTube, you've seen this all over the internet. And I'm just gonna put it in the center and kind of like pat it out so you don't see all this like dry nastiness that I don't want you to see. So just patting it. Let's hit my tooth. So it just kind of gives the illusion of one, more full lips, but two, it like with the shine kind of takes away the look of all of the chappedness. Because sleeping in my makeup and not doing my typical skincare didn't really work out for me. So here's a little tidbit of what I'm talking about on these cutie pie shelves behind me as well. And this, as soon as my succulents deliver, will be full of succulents. And so that will be really cute in the video, but right now we're still TBD. So that's the finished look. We have a little blue liner. Sorry, I'm really bad at recording on my phone. Little blue liner, cutie pie little lip, full makeup. So that's it for this video. Thanks for bearing with me while I figure out what the heck I'm doing on this whole YouTube journey. And can't wait to see you again. Bye, love you so much. Mwah.